YouTube. Here's a video I've been wanting to do for a little while. Now, I don't want to beat a dead horse with these new ratchets. This is that Capri 90 tooth comfort grip 3/8 drive that everybody's been kind of raving about. And it is a damn nice ratchet. But I stumbled upon something the other day. I want you to take a real close look at that head shape. Look at that anvil. And look at that reversing lever. Now, if you don't want to send away for this thing, or you want to save a couple of bucks, this is your alternative. Now, take a real close look at that reversing lever, the grind on it, the anvil. Now, I will tell you that the plates are just slightly different. The face plates are just slightly a different shape, but they are made exactly the same. They both have an O-ring underneath them. They use the same, I believe it's a T9 torx or star screw to get them apart. There's some slight differences in here, but these are definitely made in the same factory of the same quality. And, you know, they're both pretty nice ratchets. I guess you'd say back drag is a little better on the Capri. I don't know if that'll free up over time in the Diehard, or if it's just maybe I have this faceplate a little tighter. They both have an O-ring underneath them, right in the center there. And again, they do have one around the outside of the faceplate to keep moisture out. Let's take them apart. Take a look at the inside. Now, the Capri might be just a hair thinner in profile, not much, not enough that would be noticeable. And when you get the Diehard, I couldn't find one with the comfort grip. When you get the Diehard with the comfort grip, it's not going to be quite as fat as the Capri. I mean, the Capri, I think they took the profile of the snap-on, cut it out a little bit or scalloped it out so as to avoid infringement. And they kind of came up with this guy, which is good. And this is not the end-all, be-all, guys. It's not the greatest thing ever, but it is a decent ratchet. They work good. Let's have a look inside. So, while we knock these face plates off of here, I'm using these really nice VIM or VIM torx drivers I got from Mr. Joe. They have a set of these that are actual screwdrivers, and they have the torx. No RBRT here, guys, but, you know, as long as you use the right size the first time, they come out. Let's pop these face plates off. Have a look at what's inside. Now, here's the Diehard. As you can see, a nice O-ring. And it's held captive inside here. And you can see, if I wipe this off, don't want to get rid of all the lube, but there is a step machined into that plate. It's fairly thick. I mean, they really weren't messing around when they built these things. There's our pawl. 90T. Blank on the other side. Matches up in width to the anvil. It's hard to see, but the anvil's machined out in here, and there is an O-ring right there. Blank on the backside. Now we take the Capri, we'll do the same. Paul actually came out with it. Set that O-ring aside. And there's our pawl. It says 3/8 90T in the same stamping. Looks like MW in the center. Let's compare the two. These pawls, other than one being just a little bit narrower than the other, are identical. I guarantee you these came out of the same factory. The detent and the reversing lever and spring, those are also pretty much identical. Same style faceplate on the Capri, but it's slightly thinner, which is kind of strange. As is the gear, or the anvil. Now, this portion of the anvil, the detent ball, everything, the O-ring in here, these are identical. Identical from one to the next. But as you can see, the Diehard is just a little bit thicker than the Capri. It looks like they're only using one when they make that ratchet in quick release. They start with one basic part for the anvil, and it could go either way. This one was not finished. But that's interesting. Just slightly longer on the Diehard. It might be just a slightly stronger ratchet, all things being equal. It has a thicker faceplate, and it has a thicker gear, or a wider gear, and a wider pawl. When you figure they cost about the same. This ratchet was $25. 3 for $100. This one was $33.33. Strength-wise, I'm going to give it to the Diehard. But, loosening it up a little bit, making it a little thinner, that might attribute to why the Capri has just a little less back drag. Plus, I think there's a little less tension on that detent. That could be just me. And again, they are interchangeable. I think that's just me. You look at the way that the inside is machined out. Again, that's pretty much identical. If the faceplates were the same shape, I think the parts would interchange until you went to put it together. Anyway, let's put them back together. Check out the back drag. Well, now that we got these back together, let's take a look. The back drag on that is fairly light. Slightly heavier on the Diehard, but not bad. But one thing I did notice, Diehard is just a little bit noisier, not quite as smooth, which is odd because, again, it does have a heavier, thicker faceplate. About the same amount of end play on the anvil. I I think there's just a little more oil in the Capri, which I can fix very easily. Anyway, I've been somewhat impressed with Advanced Auto Parts. You know, I am always going to be a proponent of the tool trucks. I love Snap-on. I like Matco, Mac Tools, Cornwell. I love the independents, even the guys selling Gear Wrench. But I'll tell you what, if you're a DIY guy, if you can't afford it, don't have a tool truck guy, whatever, if you need a backup or looking for something for the home or the garage, there is some really nice stuff available right at your local auto parts store and some of your parts houses. Now, coming from being a mechanic and going into the industrial field, I found some pretty interesting stuff there too, which I'll show you in an upcoming video. But anyway, here's a nice alternative to the Capri and something not everybody knows about. Diehard Ratchet, and that is a damn fine piece. Hope you enjoyed that. Please like and subscribe.